There it is. And yeah, we're going to talk through this 7-gamer, which really not a lot has changed for me since the beginning of the day. We got the news we were hoping for with Indiana. And, hoping for meaning that we got the news, at least on some of Indiana. We know that Siakam is available, and we know that Halliburton is available as of this moment. We'll see if someone like did you see this whole thing with DeAndre Ayton getting stuck? He couldn't drive out of his place because of the ice.
I'm so far behind. I have no idea about anything.
Oh, I'm just saying is that like 75% of the country right now is like in snow, and apparently he couldn't get out of the house. So he couldn't go to the game the other day. It wasn't on the main.
Wait, this is not the first time I've heard this. Wait a minute.
Yeah, it's been going around. It's a pretty big story right now.
No. No. There is something not today. In like the past 10 years, something like that has happened. And now this is what happened. My brain is good enough to remember it was something, but I don't know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But there was definitely something where somebody couldn't get out of the house because of the snow or the ice or something and couldn't make it to a game. Now I got to remember what it is. Brutal. Now I will. Now this is where my brain's going to be tied up all day long and figuring out what that was.
Well, we can talk about the slate because we've got, look, it's a good slate. There's very clearly, everybody's going to play Hawks, Spurs, and Hornets, and I don't even disagree with that. I think the Hawks are getting a lot of rightfully so, plenty more love. I just want to say that matchup can be tough. And I'm playing some lineups that are sort of only playing one or two Hawks. Whereas if you try to do the optimizer, it feels like it wants to give you 4 or 5. And I think that's, you could play Bogdanovich in a blowout angle. Also, I think there's some run backs in that game, which, I think are interesting. Jimmy Butler obviously being one of them, Bam being one, and I like Tyler Hero in this game environment. Kyle Lowry is also 4K flat, just to throw it out there because he is just 4K. But I think you have some options to run back that game a little bit, and I think that San Antonio Charlotte feels like a reasonable game stack. So a lot of game stacking making sense tonight to me.
Well, I'm just running the projections now, so I'll be able to catch up within 3 minutes. I was doing the football stuff. I didn't, I don't know if you noticed, but Mark Andrews was not activated. I thought he.
Yeah, I saw that they announced that yesterday, but then they officially made it today. They said he was doubtful yesterday, so I got that one.
That's too bad for them, but they should be all right anyway.
Yeah, but he hasn't played yet, so they've been winning like crazy without him.
Yeah, they've survived somehow.
Yeah, they've actually. I mean, I'll tell you how they've got the guy who plays the best football of any quarterback this year. Mahomes is the best, but he's played the best.
Who? Lamar?
Yeah, super underrated too because he actually hands the ball off at the 1 and 2 yard line.
He does, doesn't he?
He does, and it's frustrating sense for DFS, but it's.
And he hands it off from the shotgun.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so do you have any I can talk about the guys who my core is still the same as it was. As I predicted, Zach Collins' projection went up a little bit. He would be added to my core now. You have some I still like a Kongwu because I think the price is too low at 4,300. Murray, Sohan, Bogdanovich, Trey Jones, LaMelo. Now, I'm not saying play all those guys together, but that is my core, and that is, I think, where you're starting for most builds, cash and tournaments. You're playing probably at least 4 of those guys, I think.
Yeah, I currently have, I just updated everything. Bogdanovich and Sohan. Well, Bogdan has the best point per dollar projection right now. I have him 50% owned.
Yep.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Is he? I don't even care if he starts or not. I think he will, but
I assume he will. But one guy who's probably not going to get the projection as much as or at least earlier wasn't getting projected well enough, I didn't think, and even DeJounte Murray, I'm seeing him at 25% ownership.
I saw that.
Seems like crazy. I always thought I was being creative by fading him in one of my 3 big lineups.
Yeah, I was a little surprised by that as well, actually.
I don't understand that question, Jason. Can you please re-ask it? But I think Jalen Johnson, because he projects the worst, but also might benefit a lot. They've really turned over a lot more offensively to him. And, I think throwing him into the mix just as a slightly lower owned piece from that game makes some sense to me for sure. I think Jason saying so is Nick Richards out? Is that what's happening? Because is Nick Richards now that Nick Richards is PJ Washington? Then Collins. I don't know what the question is, Jason. I can't tell what you're trying to say. Let me know. Just retype it in, and I'll try.
I don't have Nick Richards is out.
I honestly don't understand what the question is, Jason. It doesn't make any sense. So please let me know. Just rewrite it, and I'll happy to answer it. And I for what it's worth, I think Zach Collins is a very good play, but it always worries you with San Antonio with the guy coming back from an injury, especially. They might play deep, and just keep an eye out for their starting lineup. Richards is out. Okay, so that's the question. So the question is, now that Richards is out, PJ Washington a better play than Collins if he starts? No, but I think he's a good play. I mean, they're different because I do like using. I mean, Collins is the one guy at center who really stands out. Other than Embiid and one guy in that price area. You can play what's his name at power forward also. But I do like Washington if he starts, and I think that's also a potential boost for some of the other guys. I just want to wait for the projections to update before we answer that one.
Yeah, that news must have just come out, huh?
Yeah.
He was questionable.
But no, I would not say that PJ Washington. I mean, PJ Washington is far inferior per minute, and there's definitely a range of outcomes with him. And there is with Collins too, but I like Collins better, and I don't think you need to decide between the two by any means. I have no reason why you wouldn't play both of them, assuming that Washington starts. So I don't think you're deciding between those two guys, in my opinion.
And
the problem is, I guess the other power forwards are pretty strong, so maybe you kind of have to. I would still lean. I don't know. I'm probably going to split them up, to be honest with you. What do you think, Sheets?
Who's going to be actual center that starts in his place?
It'll probably be Washington.
Oh yeah? They're not going to put some big doofus in for like 12 minutes or something?
They might do a JT Thor or Nathan Mensah or something, but
that's a guy I played a couple of days ago, the Mensah.
Yeah, he hasn't broken.
Not a very genius pick by me to pick the Mensah.
No, it happens.
That particular case.
Yeah, the small forwards suck. And because DraftKings made all of these guys like only shooting guard eligible. Like if we had Bogdanovic small forward, I mean, I'm playing Champagny and Keldon Johnson right now at small forward. I do have Sadiq Bey in a little bit as well. But yeah, small forward is brutal. And it actually led me to a guy who I didn't think I was going to have any of. Why can't we just play Grayson Allen and hope that he hits 9 threes? It seems like he does it once a week, once every couple of weeks. He hit 9 threes. He just did it. Maybe he goes back to back.
Grayson Allen 9 threes variation. That's what we're going to do.
He put up 56 fantasy points, and he's put up like over 40 more than anybody in that price tier. And you're betting on Sadiq Bey to do the same thing. I'm just saying, like Grayson Allen. Look, so he's put up in 2 out of his last 6. He's put up 50. And he put up 48, 4 games before that. I'm just saying, like, look, this is who you like at small forward, because Champagny, Bey, Keldon Johnson, Jimmy Butler. I really don't know who people are supposed to be playing at small forward. I agree with the statement that it's one of the worst small forward plays. I think Jimmy Butler is my favorite, but that's not like cheap or anything. Nobody like Sadiq Bey, Champagny, speculatively. I guess you could play Okiki. You'll probably get some ownership because of it. Who's probably a better play than he's being projected is Brandon Miller. Maybe not a better play, but certainly there's the upside for Brandon Miller. So I wouldn't ignore Brandon Miller entirely. That's another one you could throw in there. But yeah, I agree. Keldon Johnson doesn't even project well. Like nobody looks good at small forward. Other than Jimmy Butler, basically. And even that is like, we know there's a range of outcomes there.
Is Bogdanovic small forward?
Yeah. But no, Bogdanovich is not. He's not just shooting guard. On FanDuel he is, but on DraftKings he's not.
What about the Sohan? Is he small forward?
No, he's power forward only.
Okay.
They changed all the positions. It's really annoying. So Jason's asking about, this is a good one. Brogdon and Jeremy Grant maybe showcase tonight. Like, let's not overrate the showcasing. That's my only issue with it. I do think there's something to it for certain situations, but like, I don't want to overrate it. Like, I am playing Brogdon in one of my 2 big buy-ins on DraftKings. I think I would not be surprised if he plays 12, 16 minutes. I would also, but if he plays, like, I think he also has upside of like 45 or 50. If he plays the minutes, we don't even know if we won't know if he's starting. I'm assuming he's going to start, but like, look, they're Portland. They can do whatever they want and just play the young guys whenever they want to. So I am playing some Brogdon. I am not getting to any Jeremy Grant though.
You very rarely do though.
And he's almost never a good play. So that's good on me.
Yeah.
He's one of the worst producers per his price tag. Like, and no one people just play the projections. So they play him. I mean, you look at his games. It's not like you can even get by with him most of the time. Like, I mean, he has more games in the 20s and 30s, like in low, like 30 even, and he's 6,800. It's not like we're getting any sort of discount on him. So look, good matchup. He always can get there. He put up 41 in the last game by shooting 14 of 26. He took a ton of shots. But I just think there's better plays out there. I would rather find the money to get up or to spend up to Butler or down to Keldon Johnson. I like better, just because he's in that game environment. I think he and Keldon Johnson are pretty close overall. But I do like the Brogdon idea.
I wonder what the PJ Washington projections going to boost if that much. I guess it has to, right?
It's going to boost up, yeah. But I'm also curious about like, so Simons being officially like questionable, like is a big deal. And we're just not going to, I think we just have to accept we're just not going to have the late game news and sort of figure out a plan. I actually have Simons in my big buy-in on FanDuel. I think if he plays, he's an incredible play. And I think the Q tag will keep no ownership on it. Forget what you're seeing projected for ownership. You can cut that in like, unless he gets announced before lock, then you can cut that in like a 10th. He's going to be like 3% owned, and he's got a monster ceiling here. So I like the Simons idea, but the problem is if he doesn't play, you don't really have like a natural option unless you have multiple guys in those late games, which I love Anthony Davis. I just didn't get to him today. I just didn't spend up that much. That's it, you know? And the projections, good on them. They evened out that Anthony Davis is actually being projected for more fantasy points than LeBron, which, again, is still baffling because LeBron outscores him like 1 out of every 8 games, feels like these days. I love D'Angelo Russell as a play late. That's another one I can get behind. They're letting him do his thing a little bit more, so I'm in on that one. If Austin Reeves was small forward eligible, I'd be playing a ton of him today because I think the guard positions are just really strong. Not just point guard. Like you're already playing, you're playing at least one of Murray or Bogdanovich basically in every lineup. At least I am. I also love Vassell, Rozier, LaMelo, Trey Jones, and Russell. Like that's 6 really great guard options that I don't really want.
Yeah.
MJ's asking the question that I thought was going to be what everyone asked is Champagny at small forward. I played Champagny last week, last game with Wemben in a lineup that cashed pretty deep in the big buy-in, the big 888. I played him with Wembanyama playing. So I am definitely higher on Champagny than the projections are. Now, the ownership will be as well because people don't have other 3,500 players to play. If you want to do something really creative too, another thing that I really thought about this one. Can I play Dominic Barlow if Keldon Johnson starts? And I think you can, but I just feel like it's a little bit too thin. I mean, he's been playing right around 20 minutes every game. I wish he was a little bit cheaper, but I think Barlow might be an interesting pivot off of Collins chalk, and you could, and also off of Kongwu. You could play him with the Kongwu, and that'll open up everything. So that's an interesting way to go too.
Yeah, so we're just, I guess, waiting for starters. I mean, even though we know who they're going to be, I think. Well, maybe we don't in Charlotte. We really don't know who's going to start. So
yeah. K9, to answer the question about Reeves, Allen, and Beauchamp on FanDuel, that's not a question even. Like I usually will say I need to see the rest of your lineup, but there is, and I don't even need to ask Sheets what his thoughts are. I will though anyway. But Bogdanovic versus Reeves and Allen, you're playing Bogdanovic. It's not like close between those guys, right?
well,
Sheets?
I mean, yeah, I mean, he's a better play.
Yeah.
I mean, want to play devil's advocate? You want to say he's going to be 60% owned? Sure, but this is basketball. It's like,
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, it's
And he'll be higher than, it might be higher than 60, I think, too.
it depends what tournament. I think it'll be about 60 in the lottery. Maybe not. Maybe you're right. Maybe he'll be higher. Simons, was he reduced to questionable? General illness. He was questionable Brooklyn, then he played 39 minutes.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's playing right now, but you really don't have like much of a choice. But again, it's hard to just play him though, you know?
Right.
Because you get really in a weird situation. Yeah. So I don't know. But speculating is another thing that makes Brogdon an interesting play, who we talked about earlier. Scott McCarty says he's getting 3 Spurs. Feels like too many. Does that sound right? I don't think it's too many. I have 4 in one of my big builds. I don't love it in general because they do tend to just play people minutes, but I think that without Wemby, I don't care what the on-off court season numbers are. When you don't have the guy in the game, it's just a massive boost for everybody. And Keldon Johnson and especially Vassell, though. I really like Vassell tonight. I feel like this is the kind of matchup where I could see him going nuts. And then on the other side, I'm playing LaMelo or Rozier in every DraftKings lineup as well. You know, it's hard to avoid that. It's good. I like Miles Bridges too. And Miles Bridges and other things like that are going to be the reason why people don't play that much Jalen Johnson. Maybe they'll catch on that. Well, maybe not. I mean, even if you can't really catch on because they're all power forward and set, like everybody's power forward center, or point guard, shooting guard. Like small forward just is. If you get that right today, I think you're in good shape.
I keep getting all this stupid Wendell Carter Jr.
Sure, I mean speculative, but did they announce a starting lineup? Because they did. They did. Let me see what their starting lineup is. Because I've been waiting for him to crack back in. He's not in the starting lineup. He's in, but he's in for the game, not in the starting lineup. Sure. One thing you guys got to remember, though, just when a center goes out, it doesn't mean that another center, like, first of all, Wemby's out, but Collins is back. Nick Richards is out, but Charlotte plays what's his name at the 5. I think Mensah is going to look like a really good play projection-wise. Let me see if he's starting. They just released theirs as well. Come on. How does Saberson have it, but NBA.com doesn't? That seems weird. Oh no, that's weird. It shows them as started. What? Oh no, I'm sorry, wrong one. I'd like to see whether Mensah's starting or not. I do think Mensah will look like a really good point per dollar play, and I think that I'm going to end up probably playing him in one of my 2 big buy-ins.
For Charlotte?
On FanDuel DraftKings. Yeah. He's playing enough minutes anyway. Unfortunately, they haven't been very productive, but it's a great matchup. I would be shocked if Zach Collins being back and Wemby being gone is going to make him play. I'd be shocked if there's anything that's going to lead him to play less minutes without Nick Richards. I really don't know what that would be. And even at the minutes he was getting, he was sort of like you wouldn't play him, but you would. I mean, 13, 11, 18, 21, 14, 17, 15, 12. He's getting some run every game. Now, his production is just, I mean, it's so bad. But I'm probably going to take a shot because he's 3K. So Cam the Man is asking about Brandon Ingram. Is he getting ownership? Landed at 8.1 on small forward. So decided between Brown or Ingram. Hesitant of Brown with fully healthy Celtics team. I have like Brandon Ingram is, I don't know. what to like. You're gonna get like you could get 20 and you can get 60. It's really just an unbelievably wide range of outcomes with Brandon Ingram, more than almost any player, and that's true for like all of New Orleans. They've been playing so much better, but like a lot of it is because it really is like it's a different guy's night every night, it seems like, and it's really hard to project these guys. So I have no issue with Brandon Ingram, but I didn't get to any of him personally. I think that all of those, this is the most healthy the Pelicans have been all year, and I just didn't get to them for that reason. Do I think that one of Zion, McCollum, or Ingram probably get to 45 at least against Phoenix? Yeah. I just have, if I had to guess, I like Zion's matchup, I guess, the best, but I'm not going to use him because I like power forward too much. So yeah, I can totally justify the Ingram idea. I think that makes the guy just put up 68 fantasy points the other day. It's not like he can't do it. He had a triple double. It wasn't like a fluky thing. He shot 8 of 19. So I will co-sign your Brandon Ingram love there, Cam the Man.
Yeah, so we're just waiting on like projections to update with the Charlotte guys, honestly.
For what it's worth, I prefer Jimmy over Brandon Ingram, but he is cheaper. But I actually think that the projections wise, he should be projected higher than Ingram, and he is. Okay, so I'm going to answer Kaylee's question. Sorry, Sheets, I'm just going through the chat questions. If you multi-entry, it's never that bad to throw a no dart. Only issue is picking the right one. A New Orleans dart.
New Orleans?
Yeah, I agree. I definitely don't mind that way of thinking, Kaylee, and I just didn't get to them today. But I think that's actually, maybe you can make a case this is the perfect kind of day to get to them. Because we're willing to speculate a lot, but meanwhile you have a 5% on the guy who scored the most fantasy points in his last games were Joel Embiid and Brandon Ingram. Maybe getting a little Ingram exposure is not the worst idea.
Yeah, I guess.
I love AD though. I have to say, like that's the other one. AD, maybe Mensa will open up AD for me.
Yeah,
because I just think he's. I mean, just look. It's not even that I don't feel like he's getting 80 hardly ever against anybody in any situation. But like every game, 61, 59, 61, horrible game against Phoenix, I'm willing to throw out 66. You know what I mean? Like he just way like he's like 6xing this price every day. And I like the matchup. They're really relying on him. And his assist numbers have gone way up lately. He had a 9 assist game. He just missed a triple double last game because of the blowout. And he had 11 assists the game before that to get the triple double, or a couple games before that to get the triple double. Claxton, I ended up on him some too, MJ. I don't love the play, but I did end up with some 7K center stuff. So I ended up with a little bit of Claxton. I'm probably not going to end up with it. But at the moment I do have some Claxton. Bridges from Brooklyn, I personally have zero interest. I think that let me say not zero interest. I would much rather play. I'm definitely not playing him at shooting guard. And at small forward, I prefer Jimmy Butler over Bridges. But look, you can take a different angle and play Bridges instead. No problem.
Yeah, they just updated the Charlotte stuff. They don't have starters, but they updated. They gave PJ Washington a couple more. They bumped Mensa up a little bit, like you mentioned.
Yeah, I'm seeing Mensa. I mean, Sabersom's got him all the way at 17, which is good enough to make him probably pretty popular, at least anybody using that. I definitely don't mind the Bridges idea. All these small forwards are just guys who I think I don't mind any of them, but I don't have any special lean or love towards any of them either. I'm just leaning on the Butler thing a little bit more. All right. A lot of Ball and Rozier together. I think Ball and Rozier together is okay, but like if you're multi-entering, I probably they're totally fine to play together. But I think I would rather split them up because guard is so loaded, personally. Do you have a lot of Ball and would you think you'd be getting to a lot of Ball and Rozier together, Sheets?
Maybe.
Yeah. But you'd be okay with it, right? It's a good matchup.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to be leaving in about 5 minutes so I can finish my builds. I really haven't edited anything since the beginning of the day. There really isn't that much information.
Yeah, I'm just going to update the projections the way I have them right now.
Yeah.
And so you guys will be on your own with that. I just a couple of announcements again. I put up my both the last two MMA videos. I did the betting breakdown. I also did the advanced lineup build. You guys let me know what you think of that. If it's too complicated or whatever, I'm just kind of talking through it. And then again, I'm away. I updated some projections, but I'm through Sunday. I mean, I'm around, but just don't count on me to update anything or be around for content really. But I'll poke my head in.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try and for those of you around, Brody, I'll send out a time we're recording, but I'll be live for both football slates, both main slates, and hey, maybe even a late night sweat on Sunday if anybody's got one. We'll see, and then
I'll be back. I'll be back by then.
Oh, you'll be back by then. I was gonna say then I can win all the money on this.
As a matter of fact, I might actually be back by the time the slate starts on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to be like an 11 o'clock flight back, so I'll be back.
Okay, nice.
Don't know exactly what time.
Nice. All right. Yeah, we'll get you guys covered either way. So Jason asking, no Tatum love, or does Boston have too many mouths to feed? No, look, it's just a matter of why would you play Jason Tatum tonight? So that's the way I look at it. Like, there's nothing. This is not a good matchup for him individually. It's fine, but I would much rather play Anthony Davis. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are two guys you could throw into that New Orleans mix.
I really doubt I get to any of those guys.
What's that?
I really doubt I get to any of that.
I'd be shocked.
Actually, that's not true. I'm getting some Davis. That's not true. You're right. I
think Davis you'll get to, but I don't think you're going to get to Tatum or Brown. I
do think Derek. There's the Embiid champagne combination. Okay, looking at some of that.
Yeah, I think Derek White's a very reasonable play for the Celtics. He's the only one that really crossed my radar. 6,100 feels too cheap, and I think he and Russell are those 6K guys that you can kind of, get a little different than the Hornets Spurs build, which is going to be a lot more popular than those guys will be. But yeah, Derek White down to 61, and it did sort of caught me off guard. Obviously, another guy hasn't really put up a monster game in a while, but I don't mind him. All right, I'm going to probably get out of here in a moment. Sheets, is there anything else you want to go over?
I'm looking at some builds right now. Yeah, look at these. These are these are very pure. Like a few Charlottes, a few Spurs, a few Hawks. You know what I mean? Like it's
yeah, that's what I've got written. But I'm gonna get some Mensa now. I'm gonna try to add more AD because I just believe in what he's doing, and I also would like to get to more of the PJ Washington. That's my big changes, and I am forcing in Jalen Johnson and Bridges together because they both take up only power forward spots, and I think it's a good way to build when you have two semi guys who are going to be owned. Put them together. If they only take up that same position, it's going to be a less common way of doing it.
That's true.
All right. All right, Cheats, anything else before I get out of here?
Nope. There's lots of slates, lots of stuff, lots of combinations to win in football this week.
Yeah, well, I hope you have a great time wherever you're going.
I'm going to Toronto for the UFC.
Oh, duh, that's right. Sorry, my brain is all over the place. I've had too much site stuff, which I got to update you on another time. But that's awesome. So yeah, so we got Sheets representation in the UFC, and we did order some merch stuff. So we have to get Neil a shirt. We got to get Sheets some stuff next time so he can wear his stuff and represent TrueDFS while he's out there.
Yes.
All right. Good luck, everybody. Sheets, have a great time. Good luck out there. And